This would seem to me that Bernie Sanders, behind in this poll and others just 2 months ago by 20 points or so, is making significant gains amongst women. I want to get your thoughts on that because this would have anticipated to be a strong area of support for Secretary Clinton.
Yeah, no, it really does show the growth that Senator Sanders has had since entering this race and being able to have his message start to permeate throughout the country. And when people really think about the things that he is pushing for, paid family and medical leave, increasing the minimum wage to $15 an hour, universal health care, for example, those three, if those, making sure that he stabilizes that Social Security and giving people on Social Security a raise, all of those issues are women's issues. So I'm not surprised that he is certainly gaining ground among women in this country.
Talking to Nina Turner, a Bernie Sanders surrogate, former, of course, state senator from the great Buckeye state of Ohio, here on the Jeff Santos show. Talk to me a little bit about, how Bernie Sanders has really gained in a place like Iowa and even in states now like Nevada and South Carolina. I saw that you picked up another endorsement yesterday from an African-American state senator in South Carolina. They're picking up numbers in Nevada amongst Latinos and Latinas. This campaign is surprising a lot of the pundits, but you've been able to see this when you signed on to the Sanders campaign. Talk to me, if you can, Nina, about what I sense is the real thing with Bernie. There's not a lot of BS, and you get what he talks about is what he wants to achieve. And you've been in the world of politics. I've been around it for a long time. That's not always the case. Talk to me about the growth of Bernie.
Yeah, you're telling me. I mean, with Senator Sanders, what you see is what you get, and he's really been preaching this gospel, so to speak, all of his conscious life. From his consciousness, from the age of when he was in his 20s at the University of Chicago, fighting against segregationist policies that the university had. He was fighting against those policies as a member of CORE, and he marched with Dr. King, so he's really not new to this. And Jeff, I really believe that it is people finally tuning out the noise and listening to his message and what he has to say. That is starting to turn people. It was the same thing that turned me as well, that got me to really say, my God, this is the kind of person that I would love to see become the next president of the United States of America. And you mentioned Representative Baumberg, coming around in South Carolina, which is really a big deal because, they talked a lot about this firewall, that African Americans were the firewall. And one of the things that really bothers me about that is that when you have commentators talking about they know which direction African Americans are going to go in even before we cast a vote, it is really insulting because we are the only ethnic group where people are already predicting or where we're going to go. And I feel as though any community, whether it's African Americans, the Hispanic community, Asian, it doesn't matter. Women, nobody should allow their votes to be taken for granted, that folks have to earn those votes. They don't own those votes. And so it is very important. And so I'm so glad to see that. He also has another supporter, she was the attorney for the Trayvon Martin family, Natalie Jackson in Florida. There was an article that came out today talking about her endorsement of Senator Sanders. So the move is afoot. It is happening. All over this country. People are really feeling the burn. There's no other way to describe it. They hear his message, his sincerity, his authenticity, and wow, you say, oh yeah, this is the kind of America I want to live in.